All right, I'm back. I'm back for another video. I'm just making this video just to, get some, I guess, get some thoughts out of my head, get some, just so I can talk about, what I'm thinking about and things of that nature, right? So, yeah, I'm gonna be doing that as I wait for my food to, as I wait for my food to cool down. But yeah, I I was just thinking about this recently, right? I'm just lacking in emotions, I don't really have any emotions for real. Like I I don't have fun on a daily basis. If I'm being honest with myself, I don't have fun on a daily basis. Um, right now I'm just mostly, focusing on, my probation and, staying compliant and doing this, doing that. But I don't really have fun. What do I mean by I don't have fun? In this day and age, I guess having fun means, hanging with your friends, going places, visiting new places. I guess that's what fun means in this day and age, at least. And, meeting new people, like I said, traveling, like I said, going to new places, trying new things. I think having fun, I just thought about it right now, is having fun means, having new experiences or, experiencing new experiences, I guess that's what's fun for me right now. That's what I think. And I don't really have fun, you know, I don't go out. I'm not gonna say I don't really go, like, I don't go out at all. Um, what I mostly do, all I really do is work. All I really do is, work, go to the gym, stay at the house, watch, UFC fights, watch, UFC content, watch anime, watch, movies, and that's pretty much it. I don't do much else, if I'm being honest. And it's not that I don't want to. It's just like I said, the past 3 months or this whole year, really, I haven't had a job, so I've had no income flowing in. So what can I do with no income? What can I do with no income in this? I live in the United States, so you don't have money. It's pretty much anywhere around the world. You don't have money, can't do anything. You can't really do anything if you don't have money. So sorry, I just saw a fly just zoom by. But life is all about wasting time and wasting time and yeah, life is all about wasting time until you die, right? So you can waste your time doing fun things, or you can waste your time, being boring or doing nothing really. And I've been wasting my time working and and consuming media. That's pretty much what I've been wasting my time. And I don't want to waste my time doing boring things. I want to waste my time. I want to spend my time doing fun things or new things. Really, I haven't tried anything new in a minute. If I'm being honest, like I haven't done anything that I haven't done in my life, right? And so, yeah, man, I feel like I'm just lacking in character. You know, maybe if you guys see this video, you can see in me, you can see it through my eyes, and you can see that behind these eyes is nothing but darkness, I guess you could say. Nothing but blank. There's nothing behind these eyes. There's no type of love. I look like, if you stare into my eyes, I look like I've, been to war and, experienced some very crazy things, right? Like there's no type of love behind my eyes, no type of life. I don't look like I'm full of life. I look dead, really. I look dead inside, if I'm being honest. And, once upon a time, I was full of life. I was, I could, joke around, be funny. I meet new friends, make friends easy, but this world turned me into something that I'm not. I've just turned into someone that is, bland, that has no emotion, that it's like I'm not even alive, if I'm being honest. I'm alive but not living. I'm alive but I'm not living. I'm not being a human. I'm not trying new things. I'm not meeting people. Humans are social animals. We're social animals, right? And when you're not social, you start to lose yourself, I guess you could say. I'm not the most social person, so I'm not full of life at all. Like I said, all I do is work, eat, go to the gym, lay down in bed, and, watch, like I said, media. And that's not living. That is not living at all. I want to meet new people. I like meeting new people. I think people are interesting. There's good people, there's bad people, there's weird people, there's all sorts of people. And it's all fascinating in a way. How they act, how they behave, what they do, their mannerism, how they treat people. I like observing that. And, I try to observe, and I find it interesting, really, human nature. Yeah. And I would love to meet new people, but the first thing I have to do is I have to, be interested. I have to. Right now, I'm not. There's no life behind my eyes, so. there's no life behind my eyes. So why would anyone want to, be interested in me or want to be friends with me? Like I'm a bland person, you know. So yeah, life right now is pretty bland. 1 second. Like I was saying, man, like life is pretty bland. It really is. So right now, I guess I'm trying to find meaning. Something that pushes me to, go to work every day and being better is, the fact that I have bills to pay. The fact that, the person that, I want to be a great person. I'm going to be a great person, I'm going to become better. So that's also pushing me to, on a daily, to become better. A lot of factors push me to every single day to wake up, go to work, go to the gym. It's not just one thing, just me wanting to get better, be better pushes me, and gets me through the day and has gotten me through the days. Yeah, just that pushes me to be better, really. But yeah, man, I'm trying to find new meanings in life. I'm a person, bro. I'm alive. I'm alive. Like I can do anything, really. We have free will. I like to think. There's discussions. Do we have free will, or is everything predetermined, right? And I like to think that, we have free will to do anything. I wouldn't want my life to be predetermined. Even if everything is predetermined, I'd like to think that I am in full control of my life. I am responsible for where I'm at. I am responsible for where I'm going and where I end up. So that responsibility lies within me. So I have to, do everything in my power to keep on going and keep on pushing through the bad days. Yeah. But yeah, I just want to make this video just to get some thoughts out of my head. I don't have any friends that I talk to on a regular basis. There's this thing called neurodivergency and neurotypical. Neurodivergent people, neurotypical people. Neurotypical people, they're people that can socialize with no problem. People that can socialize, people that function normally on a daily basis without any sort of, restraint, I guess you could say. Neurotypical people. Neurodivergent people are, people that have trouble socializing. People that are anxious, have social anxiety, people that have mental, not disabilities, but mental differences, mental things that prevent them from being normal. What is normal? You know? I'm not sure where I stand. You know, I'm not sure what category I am. Hmm. I'm leaning towards I'm leaning towards neurodivergency because I do have trouble socializing in a sense. I may be neurotypical though, but I have trouble socializing because of certain actions that I take. Maybe that's what it is. Who knows? But yeah, right now I don't have any friends. I do have family though. I have family. I have my nephew, which is like my little brother. He's someone that I talk to. Send reels every single day. Stupid content. You know, brain rot, I guess you could say. You know, he's a great friend. Great nephew, great brother. Much love for that kid. Talk to him a lot. But other than that, I don't. You know, I don't talk to anybody except for family, mom, dad, nephew, my little nephew, my baby nephew. That's pretty much it. Except, you know, I got a new job 2 weeks ago. So I do talk to new people, I guess you could say, but surface level, coworker, nothing too deep. And I'm yearning for a deep connection, you know? I don't know. Maybe my inferiority complex has, prevented me from having any a meaningful connection with a friend, with a person in general. So I should fix internal problems before all that. Other than that, I'm in great shape, great health. The thing that bugs me is my jaw. Also might get my weight. But those are all fixable. I'm not sure about the jaw though. I may get jaw surgery. Who knows? Who knows what's in store? Guess I'm living day by day. Trying to be better every single day. So yeah. I guess I really am the universe experiencing itself. I guess I really am the universe experiencing itself. Sorry, there's little flies that like to get up in your personal space, and that really bugs me. Give me 1 second. But yeah, man. I guess me, the universe. I guess me as in the universe Not me as in this, you know, not this shell, but the deeper me, the soul, the universe. I'm experiencing a pretty, bland and boring reality so far. So far. Things could change. So yeah, that's really what it is right now. Me as in the universe, me as in the universe. This reality that I'm experiencing, I as in the universe. Pretty boring. Quite boring. Quite bland. Boring might not be the word. Bland might be the word. But things will change. Things can change. Not too worried. So, yeah. Right now, just be better every single day, I guess. Tides will turn. Sun will come up again. Sun will come up once again. So yeah. Those new connections will come again, and life will be all sunshine and rainbows in the future. Sooner or later. So yeah. I find myself quite fascinating in a sense, like how I act, how I feel, the emotions that I feel on a daily basis. I find myself quite interesting. I like to figure out more about myself for sure. So yeah. But yes, this is it for this video. Just random talk. Just won't get any views. So it doesn't matter. Posting this for future reference. So yeah. It's currently April 16th, 2026. Would you believe that? 2026. I'm 22 years old. I'm 3 months away from being 23. Can you imagine that? I can't. So 23 years of being alive. Quite the milestone. People die every day, so I'm still alive. So that is something that I'm proud of, I guess, and thankful. But yeah, April 16th, 2026. Didn't have work today. Had a probation officer meeting today. But yeah. I'm about to get off here and upload this video, finish this, I might finish this meal. I may not. Who knows? Yeah. Then it's currently like 5 p.m. so I may go to the gym, maybe not. I most likely will lay down and watch some more anime. Who knows? I'm just living right now in the present. So yeah, to my future self, if you're seeing this, what's up? Hope you're in a better spot. Hope you're living life. Hope you're enjoying life. I sure hope you are. Because what's the point of living if you're not enjoying it? So yeah. Be sure to be thankful for the moment that you're in, whether it's good or bad, to the future me. Or to the me now. Past, present, future. It's all the same. It's all the same. It's all at the same time. But yeah, man, make sure to enjoy yourself. Real talk. Enjoy yourself. Be thankful for the moment. I hope you're making friends. I hope you're being social. I hope you're, having fun. And yeah, man, just have fun with life. So yeah, I'm gonna get off here. And yeah, hope you're doing well. To me, to you. Later.